be the drip. Real shit, real shit. There's a thing on my hip. Real shit, real shit. You could be the next lick. Real shit, real shit. My whole life is a flip. I took a risk that nearly cost me my life. Did so many wrongs that I had to make right. Gotta stay calm, cause they creeping at night. Hand on my gun, I might be gripping too tight. Pop, pop, go to heat, dust the smoke off my fingers.
Back to the Green and Gold Show, everybody. I told you to be on your toes, man. I would, you never know what you're gonna get on the Green and Gold Show. So, my first feature, I'm grateful, man, that I was able to get these guys in and do my first LBE feature, Local Black Excellence. And I'm gonna let my guys introduce themselves. Either way, guys, y'all go from this way or this way. Introduce yourself and then just talk about what you do a little bit.
I'm Arnaud. How am I tied to Minneapolis ties? This nigga, we've been friends since high school. This is my nigga. It's my brother. This is my cousin. So really, it's just that connection between us and how we just would go out and stuff like that. But what I do, I make music. I have a project coming out this summer. It's about to be fire. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Gene. I guess one of the originators of Minneapolis Ties, I guess. There's three of us. Shout out to Tommy Joyce. He couldn't make it with us today, but he's with us in spirit. But yeah, I do sales for Kraft Heinz, so I guess that's... I sell cheese. I'm legit. I sell cheese.
Yeah. Well, I'm Stevie Moman. I'm one of the originators of Minneapolis Ties. That's really it.
All right, man. Yeah, man. I knew Gene before I knew Stevie and my dog right here. Bro, you gotta say Arnaud. My dog Arnaud before through some of my friends. So, man, we kind of connected and just great minds think alike. And y'all know, as I always explain on the show, I'm inspired by people that are doing something positive and doing it the right way and making something for themselves and not just staying on one goal or one dream and just go getting it in different avenues. And so, man, these guys are a great bunch of guys and they got a lot going for them, man. And so I'm just gonna let them explain a little bit down the line in this interview, kind of what they're talking about as far as the Minneapolis Ties. But in general, bro, let's just soften up the audience and just where y'all from, man. How was your upbringing as a child and kind of what did you want to do when y'all was younger, when you were younger, probably say in high school, sort of say?
Is it starting with me? I'm the starter, Wallace? I bet. Where I'm from, I'm born in the DRC, so that's the Democratic Republic of Congo. My story is like a long trip, but to do it real fast. Civil War happened in Congo. Family had to go separate, so family went to South Africa. So me and my mom came to America. So that's like where I'm from. Where city I really grew up in when it comes to Minnesota is gonna be like South St. Paul. But yeah. What else? What was the other question about that, bro?
Don't trip, bro. Keep going, Steve. You good? Cause we on that camera.
Yeah.
The other question was kind of like you kind of answered it, talking about family upbringing and whatnot, and what high school you went to?
I went to Korean Durham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of local listeners, so people
so
from Medina, everywhere. Yeah.
And then elementary school, I went to St. Peter Claver Catholic School, and that's I've basically been in like private Catholic school my whole life.
Okay.
My mom was like, "I'm gonna save you. You gonna get Jesus in your life." We did public school. I was over here acting a mess. Yeah. She was like, ever since then, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, we're gonna figure it out. So, Korean Durham, and that's how I met Stevie, actually.
Okay.
All right, let's skip that. So, yeah, I'm from a small town, Big Lake, Minnesota. No one has heard of it, so I'm not really a city kid. I'm from the country, the suburbs. So. Shout out Big Lake. I don't know how I ended up over here.
I mean, Big Lake get cracking. So
Big Lake is not cracking, bro. I
don't know what you might see, bro.
No, so I guess I was the only nigga in the city. I think what was the one joke he said?
I said the only other black person you got in that city is you looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, damn, that's facts though.
That's
so
funny,
yeah,
bro.
Family. Yeah, that was facts. But family is big for me. Growing up as a preacher's kid, I was in church every Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, all all that shit. So
Twice a day.
yeah, twice a day. You know, you gotta make sure you go to prayers and all that stuff. So you know, it's kind of interesting too, because now it's like growing up as a preacher's kid, and now you know about that nightlife. You know,
nightlife, yeah.
every weekend, but we're gonna talk more about the
Not here
nightlife too.
sinning.
Cause nah, it's not sinning. It's the nightlife where that's what we're trying to bring something different, like you know, into the light. But we'll talk about that more.
Yeah.
I got you.
Shit. I grew up in Evergrove Heights. It's basically like a suburb of St. Paul. Went to Creed-Durham Hall for high school. Played basketball there. Played basketball at St. Mary's University.
And he was a baller too. I'm gonna say that freshman year we varsity with it, blood.
Okay.
Baller.
Okay.
All right, just had to
I was doing my thing. for a little bit,
interject.
for a little bit.
Interject. All right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, just my upbringing. I mean, my mom's side of the family from Chicago, so they moved up here real quick. But my upbringing was just kind of normal. My mom, you know, broke her back to keep me out, keep me out of St. Paul, keep me out of the hood. So I really thank her for that, to really, you know, do what she got to do to make sure in the place I am now, I can, you know, go back and, you know, be an inspiration to, you know, kids in my family, things like that. You know, shout out to my mom and, you know, everything like that.
Definitely, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's just good knowing, you know, where people come from in their upbringing, because it shows their character and how they present themselves now, and kind of your ambition, where you come from. You know, I come from a family of 8 kids, and so you got to make your way. You know,
Where are you at in that 8?
I was like on the end. I'm 26, but I'm still like this third youngest. So it's like you got to make your way, and it's crazy because you're always trying to compete with your brothers and sisters growing up, but at the end of the day, y'all should be wanting to eat together because you're family. So we kind of learn that. You get in fights, you get in things and jealousy and stuff, but you iron them kinks out, man. So kind of talk about y'all college career and kind of what you went to school for first.
So I went to school. When I first got to school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like a physics major, but I was just like, you know, that quickly made a right turn when I started seeing all the course load and everything like that, because I was playing basketball too. So it was like, and then I slowly got into like marketing, because I'm a personal person. I like, you know, how people interact, how people think, you know, how people are attracted to stuff like that. And I like to think I'm a pretty good marketer myself. So it's like, if I can market myself, I can market, you know, another brand. So I kind of went to school for that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we really got into this. Was, you know, we were both personable people, marketing, you know, type people. So it's like, you know, we can get into something like this. And that's kind of just, you know, my college experience really.
Yeah. My college experience was quite similar. I also did marketing, but I majored in sport management.
Okay.
So through that, you know, had a couple chances to work with the Minnesota Vikings as well through their training camp, and currently actually working for them now during the season.
Okay.
Working in their suites and managing, you know, talking to all our high clientele for the Minnesota Vikings. So just keeping that door open.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's all I got. I'll keep it short and sweet. But, yeah.
I'm currently still in school right now, so I'm just trying to go in for marketing as well. But I'm trying to double major with psychology.
Okay.
Just like, honestly, psychology is probably what I'm more interested in. But like, unless I'm going like psychiatrics or like, there's gonna be like a lot of school for that just to get real like paid in it. But with business, I just think like marketing, when I look at like all forms of business, I feel like that's the one that like you're always gonna need people to be like know how to interact with people and stuff like that. So this feels like when it comes to like marketing and selling stuff to people and things like that. So my reason why I'm like still kind of just doing school is because I kind of had that whole I want to be a musician, but school and that whole like battle and stuff like that, and trying to figure out like, okay, which is more important, what am I gonna focus more time in? I don't really know. Marketing is what I just kind of stumbled upon too, because I used to want to be an anesthesiologist and stuff. So like that switched, and then after that I was just in school, just doing it for my parents and stuff like that, and you know, taking those ties with like music. So I like honestly with these two being like my close friends and them graduating, it was kind of for me to like, okay, you know, I can get this done. Like it's important to get a degree, like even if it's like just to have that stamp of when I go to the jobs and stuff like that. So like they're like kind of my inspiration to like even hurry it up. I'm still doing music, I'm still like balancing it, but it used to be like, nah, mom, I'm gonna just focus on music, and that just kept me be 23 and still trying to get it done. But I'm gonna get it done shortly.
Ain't no shame, bro. I'm 26, bro, and my listeners know, man. I'm 26, man. I've been on a journey in college. I graduated. One of my close friends, Darius, he know.
Yeah.
We graduated in 2012 from Edina, man. And so it's
Darius,
like, shout out my man D Swag, man.
He in Texas.
Yo, that trip is gonna be crazy. I can't wait for the Texas trip.
Shout him out one time, but yeah, man, you go through the journey of, like you said, God showing you kind of what you want to do eventually. Even when playing sports, I still play football, but I know it's more that I want to do, just past the NFL, and just a creative mind that my ambition and my pockets are everything, you know, because that's the more. I was told, I went to the Eric Thomas conference this past spring, and it's a good fact that a millionaire doesn't have one, you know, source of income. They got 5, 6 sources of income in different places. So that's something I always looked at when I was in school. Like, man, you know, I do play football, but I also want to do this and do this and do this, just because, you know, then your money is coming in residual. So that's one thing. Don't, you know, you still in school, you learning more.
Yeah, still working.
You know more now than you did when you first went. So
Everybody got their own path.
Yeah.
People get off the path and get back on the path, but as long as you still on that, you know, that straight and narrow to get back to that end goal, doesn't matter how long it take you to get there, as long as you get there.
Indeed, my brother. So my next question is, now we're gonna get right into it, man. Kind of how did y'all start Minneapolis Ties? How did it become? And then kind of what would you say maybe is the mission or the ultimate goal or purpose of creating this establishment? Or corporation or whatever you want to call it, you know?
Okay. Kind of how it started, like, kind of just like stumble onto it. I ain't gonna lie. We kind of just stumbled onto it. We were just like, we started going out, you know what I'm saying? We started going out downtown Minneapolis, and we were just like, oh, okay, we're going out. And then we slowly started getting, you know, meeting a lot of people, you know, started kind of being a VIP a little bit, getting tables. And then we were just like, oh, this is kind of cool. And the more people we met, you know, more just connections and everything, just building and building, just networking. Yeah. And then it just got to a point where I was like, we were at Union one time, and we just kind of got snubbed off. And I was just like, and I looked at these two, and I was like, we're gonna run this city one of these days. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be us. We're gonna be the people on the other side of that rope. Mm-hmm. And then,
I know how that feels, bro. see y'all. Hey man, I don't cuss a lot, but I don't care if y'all cuss a lot on my show. But y'all my niggas, man. 'Cause y'all know what it is to feel like being one of those. See, I know he know because he hang around Darius, so I know Darius know what I'm talking about. But we always felt like that, man.
Yeah,
I know what you know. Oh yeah.
Like we sitting on the other side of the rope, and you know, so we trying to get in there, and they're just like, nah, like, you know, saying some sideways comments, and I turned to him, I was like, I don't rock with that. Like, I was like, we're gonna run this city, like we're gonna be those people that we can come in into, you know, any establishment, and you know, kind of just, you know, get the service that we deserve, you know, and something that.
And here's the thing with that, I want to add about that, like, you know, like those were them. That's how they want to be. Like for us, we trying to do something different. We're like, instead of excluding others, you know, it's like we're bringing everybody together. Like you said, like, you know, Darius and I, we went to school in Mankato, and we, you know, as just young black men, you know, just going into a random party, you know, like they look at you different, so they hit you with the who do you know here? And like I'm trying to kill that mentality, like, because
you trying to be the who you know.
Yeah, no, it's like, what do you mean, like who do I know here? Like, you know, like me and Darius would say all the time, like, we know the cops if you don't let us in this motherfucker. Like if you want to be like that, we know 911. It was all 3 numbers, but like that's what we're just trying to do. Like we're just trying to kill that who do you know here mentality. We're trying to bring everybody together. Okay. Like I said, everybody has their own brand, you know, and like I feel like it's getting to a point where it's like we're too selfish with our brand, like where we're just promoting ourselves instead of promoting each other and bringing each other up. Where I just feel like, you know, there's strength in numbers, and you know, we just gotta look after one another, and you know, like we all got a brand, but like, you know, Minneapolis is, you know.
I mean, that's a good point. I didn't mean to cut you off. That's a good point what you talk about, because I always say it when I look at it as the Twin Cities. We all from here. It's crazy how it's such crabs in the bucket. And if we all together, from the people y'all know, everybody was to like just build something, or even everybody do their own thing. You know, you might be good at barbering, you might be good at training people, you you might be the shoe plug, you might be the weed man. You never know who it, because I'm saying weed because I talk about weed on my show, and I feel like it's gonna get legalized soon in Minnesota. That's another conversation. But I'm saying you got all these people bringing things to the table. You got these different assets to the table. It's hitting on exactly what you're talking about with what company is being made.
Like the funny part about like how it kind of like early beginnings of it is that we kind of all, the city's small. That's the other part. The amount of people that he knows, that I know, the people that he's met, we start going out, and we're like, I know that person right there. So whether if that's the one person that's like the reason why we're cutting in line a little bit earlier to get inside, or, it's like, when you start looking like, okay, we actually together combined, kind of off of what you're saying, like, can make something big, because like even with them, like with this this yacht party that they're about to throw right now, it's like, wow, they said the number of how many people were trying to get in there. My first thought was like, how y'all about to do that shit?
We said 60 people. He said.
I was like, who y'all?
60 people.
I was like, who y'all like that? Cause like me, like I'm kind of becoming that like in closed circle, but I still like be out kind of. But like, so to them when they said all that, I was like, man, who I know even 20 people I want to be on a boat with. Like I said that was it. But then like in the matter of like, bro, like the same day, that number of 60 was. Out the window. That was already too small. Like, and then like
I had to get a bigger boat. I was like, 60 people, cool. Like I was in low scale. I'm like, all right, 60 people. All right, let's see what we can do. And then we started counting. Like, back on the computer. Like,
wait,
we had 85, man.
I'm just at work. Like, oh yeah, I got this.
That's crazy.
What? How many people there? Yeah.
It was kind of going back to like how it started, and like just like we want to bring Minneapolis together, we want to bring Minnesota together, we want to build something that you can think of Minnesota as this. I was telling him earlier, it's like Minnesota has a lot of good things going for it, but it's so slept on and so spread out instead of it being together. Like Atlanta has a huge music scene, Chicago got a huge music scene, so does, out east, so does out west. Like why does Minnesota have such good music, such good stuff here, but it's not localized. It's not all condensed into one thing. Everybody trying to eat. It's everybody saying, "Oh, I'm from here, so I ain't rock with you. I don't rock with you."
You know what I get mad about, bro? Because every time I go travel, I travel a lot too. I've been traveling a lot lately. People be like, "Where you from?" You be like, "Minnesota." I'm like, "What's in Minnesota?" You get that vibe that I used to didn't when I was little. I used to be like, "Man, I'm not really." I used to try to be like. And I looked at myself, I'm like, man, I'm being a fraud. When I was real young, I used to be like, a lot of my family from Missouri, so I used to claim Missouri. But now as I got older, I'm from Northside Minneapolis, man, I take that with pride. I love it to death. So it's like.
You at least get to Minneapolis, like, being Everett Grove Heights, South St. Paul, Big Lake, and them niggas look at you like, what? Not Minneapolis, how they say it? Like Minneapolis, they be saying it's so funny. But like, they at least know that. Like, the state capital is St. Paul.
But black folks outside like Atlanta and stuff, you go down there, my cousins, they gonna be like, man, y'all ain't got shit in Minnesota. Like what's popping,
Exactly.
The mall. That's the first thing. The mall, Valley Fair, that's it.
Shop.
That's it.
Kevin Garnett.
They still think KC. So I mean, I'm glad y'all changing the culture, man. That's what it is about. Y'all being young and smart, and you changing the demographics of what people gonna view Minnesota. And I believe in y'all, boy. I support y'all. My motto is speak it into existence. Nipsey Hustle, and it's gonna appear, man. That's Bible. That's Bible too. But I'm saying y'all got a good plan, man. You keep building on that, and that's gonna go. It's going right into the next question. What I have for y'all, which was kind of what's your thoughts, and on building a brand as well. Kind of could you talk about your team and your circle and how that is as important as building a brand?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Sorry, say the question again.
So basically, the first question is like, kind of, what's your thoughts about brand building?
Yeah. Okay.
And then, secondly, can you kind of counter that question with talking about how important your team or your circle is as important to that first question?
Okay. So brand building, the way I see it, I mean, if you wake up every morning, you're your own brand. Like the way you carry yourself. Either you're going to a job interview, like you're a brand. Like if you're alive, you're a brand. Like that's how you like market yourself to the world. So that's
with social media.
Yeah, especially with social media nowadays. And like just like brand is probably a really really big thing in our generation right now. So
a lot of business,
So and like when it comes to like our circle
it's important. Our circle is important. Like I'm not saying like we're important people, but I'm saying like it's like for us to be this close knit. and for us to kind of just, you know, be as close as we are, like, I talk to these dudes like all day, every day. Like our group chat, he be like, bro, like, are you at work? Like, working? Like, we stay in the group message, you know, we stay FaceTime, we are like always together. So like us being that close, we got a homie out in New York, you know, shout out to Tariq. You know, he's always chiming in, always trying to, you know, he's always there for us, you know, since us, we have that, you know, close knit of people that we know we can always fall back on. That we gotta go back to, you know, to the basics, you know, so we're always here to go back to the basics with each other.
And then just bounce ideas, you know. You know, a lot of people, when you have an idea like, hey, bro, I want to do music, you know, people are like, all right, cool, you know, we'll see how to do it. But like when I talk to them about it, it's like, okay, cool, that song was fire. This is why it was dope. We like sit down, try to critique it, and then try to, okay, how do we come back better? And like, they want to see the process get better. You know, they see potential, and when we bounce ideas, it doesn't get shut down right away. And if it's like a clown idea, but then like that's But sometimes they'll just be honest with a whole bunch of people. So it's not like we try to sugarcoat or we like baby each other or anything. But it's just like, you know, just being able to like not feel crazy in your own head sometimes. If like, you know, with them even wanting to start a brand with Minneapolis Ties, like. We were just going to the like club, like we were having fun, you know. We met people along the way and all that, which is dope about it, you know. So, but like it was us having fun, and somehow that became, you know, something, and like that's why it feels natural, especially now it's becoming a business. It's like we could do this more like
you get interested. That's crazy how I started like with my podcast. It was the dude that I do the show with. I was interning, and I was like, I've been wanting to do podcasts, and he's like, dude, you just gotta do it. Did it, and the ideas came. This right here came from just me, like boom, 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 coming up with questions. And I'm good on like impromptu and stuff like that. So you're right, bro. It's vital that, you know, the brand building as well as the team, because I talk on our show daily about your circle and trusting the people you're around daily, because that's gonna be part of your success.
Exactly.
The people you hang around are gonna be a part of that.
It's also like with that like success too, like there's always people that's gonna doubt us or think that's like, oh, y'all are just going out, you're like, y'all are just going out,
y'all just having fun.
You're just having fun, like you know, you guys are making silly decisions and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, I'm ready to prove them wrong. But we've had some friends,
or prove them right.
Yeah,
you're supposed to have fun and what you love doing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, you know,
makes you more passionate about it. You know, it makes the journey a little bit easier when you're doing something you love. You know, some people that want to make it to the NBA, they love playing basketball, so they cool with going out and playing basketball every single day.
Yeah,
so you know, we like going out and meeting new people. So our journey to, you know, building this brand and getting bigger to meet new people don't feel like a hassle, don't feel like a job, it don't feel like nothing. It just feel like we're just living our lives. So we can live our life and get to where we want to be by just living. You can't beat that.
You tell the people that doubting.
Right.
They love their 9 to 5. Let them keep living that life, because that's the people that's doubting. The people that ain't got shit, struggling. They trying to be like you. That's where jealousy comes in. But that's where I talk about the circle got to be tight, because you eat, he eat, whoever eat.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to. I tell my audience that all the time. The people that in my circle, I don't fight with.
Right.
I ain't got no type of jealousy. I ain't got no. What God got for that man, He got for him. I know He gonna have something for me.
Right.
So I ain't gonna be jealous of you.
I respect that.
Even like when we talked about personal, like, you know what I'm talking about with shorties and stuff. I'm like, you that man, but I'm still not coming after you like that. You know, I don't want what you got. He gonna give me what I'm supposed to have. So it's all real, and it's love, because that's what y'all support too. Is love through Minneapolis Ties. Like you said, you ain't shunning nobody. You support everybody.
Yeah, no, we're not shunning nobody. We're trying to use it as a platform to just, you know, promote each other, promote all the talents, all the different talents, all the young up-and-coming artists,
models, artists,
everybody.
You know,
like, you
everything.
know, like, it's hard to do it by yourself. That's it.
Bro.
It's hard to do it by yourself.
I might look like I'm by myself, but trust me, it's a team with this.
Yeah, and like I just want to say out there, like, you know, Minneapolis Ties, like, well, we're your biggest fan. We're your biggest fans.
Man, go ahead, man.
Promote y'all boys. Hit us up.
Promote them boys.
We're there for you. You know.
Yeah,
if you got talent, you know, we want to see everybody eat. Like, we're here for y'all. We're here as a platform for y'all, because, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. I'm trying to put Minneapolis on the map.
We have such a dope city. You know, it's beautiful. It's like, even like if we look at it, like the business aspect of Minnesota, like people think that Minnesota's not important at all, but then when you think of like the top 500 Fortune companies,
It's
they're
here.
all Minnesota based, whether it be Target or Best Buy or anything like that. It's like, we don't need to go seek approval from these places. We can literally just make our spot right here dope if we work together.
Yep.
So whether it be the artists, like how we've been saying, it's like Melly with barbershopping. A lot of my homies are becoming barbers right now, whether it be like promoting them and stuff like that. It's like, it's not hard to spread love. I think people get so like cautious with their like, whether it be a follow or even a share, and it's like, bro, that took you a millisecond, that took you
man.
that boom, and you could who knows that person that we're connected with, because we're all connected, it's gonna be like, I like that, and that changes the whole situation. So it's like, being this company that they're starting right now, I think is just dope, because like it's that's what's the core of it. It's not trying to be, oh, Minneapolis ties, we them dudes move out the way.
Yep.
It might have started off that way just because we're in the general spot, and it was like, this ain't it, But it was like, I don't think it was hard. It was like, we just like, all right, we can do this.
It says it in the name, Minneapolis ties. Just tie everything together.
Yep.
Like, everybody has something special to bring. Like, he can cut hair. I can't.
Yeah.
He lines me up every time. I say, $25.
See, and you know that. You know your strengths and weaknesses in the group.
If I can offer 50%, he can offer the other 50%.
Yep.
Together, that's 100%.
Exactly.
So it's togetherness. I'm sick of seeing everybody just selfishly promote themselves.
Right.
So because this whole like competition-based thing. It's like I don't really.
Right.
But that's another quote too. It's crazy. I forgot what rapper. I think it was Ross. I think he's talking about Birdman. But how your team eating and how you eating your team starving. That ain't right.
You should eat when you starving.
Yeah.
How you eating when your city starving?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, man. Everybody, so much money, bro.
Yeah,
we know
it's
that.
wild.
Just from politics and just
wild.
everything, as the economy, the Wall Street, bro. It's so much money out
People are
here.
getting money, whether it even be through a podcast. You know what I mean? What have I ask you a question? Is that cool?
Yeah.
With you hopping into like podcasting, what was the thing that you felt like is like the most important thing for you as yourself as a brand too?
Far as me, it was what y'all doing. It was like this idea. I knew I could do a podcast because anybody, y'all could create one, you could create one, and it could be, and you could get nice streams and listeners. And first of all, a lot of people be like, man, well, you ain't got a lot of people listening. Well, I don't care. First of all, I'm doing it for the experience. I'm still in college. I got a semester left, so I'm still building myself with it, just because this is the first time I'm ever doing it. And people be like, man, you're natural.
Catalog right there. Too.
Yeah.
This interview super easy. You know what I mean? Too. Like for someone that is just starting off, those great questions already off the bit, bro.
But I would say it was me with this idea of expanding with getting other people on here, exposing their businesses, their dreams, their goals, and what they're doing. Because then that network, which is going to my next question, is helping each other out. So it's not me in competition with y'all, but I'm getting your audience. You're now getting my audience, and together now people are gonna get more opportunities to get their self heard, whether it be jobs, just meet new people for friendships, building friendships and stuff like that, whatnot. So that was my idea, because it's just like y'all said, doing it for the city, and that was my idea, to expose more people, because I knew that was the way I was gonna get my voice heard, because I know a lot of people that know a lot of people that know a lot of people.
Exactly.
So,
together we know a bunch of people.
We know the world.
Exactly.
So that definitely was for the podcast reason, definitely.
Yeah. No, I saw like it was like a little meme or quote or some inspirational thing. It's like you can't do stuff by yourself. He's like, I asked somebody if they can build a house by themselves. You can't do that. You need a team of people. You need connections. You need a team of people to build that perfect house. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do, is tie everybody else so we can build the city up. You know what I'm saying? We can't build the city up by ourselves, just doing it by ourselves. We need everybody else. You need everybody to tune in and say, hey, we doing this way. Okay, we're gonna bring that together. We're gonna tie this with something else, and we're gonna cross do this and then do this and that, and kind of just do a bunch of different stuff. Like, it's not just parties. It's not just going out and getting lit. It's it's everything. It's tying your podcast with this business, and helping you get this and helping that person get that, and tying things together, kind of being that that nucleus of the city to try to make it.
And like he's saying, like he's not even saying like us, like it's
Right.
us. No, he's saying we.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, y'all watching this, y'all hearing this,
Right.
you're part of Minneapolis Ties.
Right.
Dre, you're a Minneapolis tie. Like
Right.
we're all in this together. Like we all tie each other. Like we're all tied together.
Man, that's just great information, bro. I got a couple more questions for y'all. But I mean, it's been natural. It's been good, man. I appreciate this, man. The last serious question. Well, not literally serious, but more on the business side. What would you speak about? How has network influenced you personally for your individual goals and the Minneapolis Ties? Like, how important is networking with people?
It's important just because it gives you that opportunity that you never had before. You know, if I never go out and network, I never knew the opportunity that was out there. You know, to better myself, better my personal situation, my family, trying to provide. So if you're able to network, person to person, you can go out there and really get on a level with people that they trust you and they want to help you. You know, that just opens up so many doors and let so many dominoes fall that you can achieve so much. And then just networking for like Minneapolis Ties is just the more we go out and meet people, the more we meet influencers, people that got a lot of followers, people that got a lot of headway in the city or other places, things like that. So like it's getting there, it's getting there. We went to Miami, met a couple of promoters down there that I have their contact. It's just got some followers from Instagram from some other people. Just networking is big when we're trying to build something.
I got you.
Yeah, no, it's you just gotta. First impressions are everything, So I guess you touched up on everything. You're perfect on that.
I mean, yeah, networking is it. This is how it started. Like it came to, we go out, we know people. A lot of my times I be way too faded. But I don't remember it. Like I be forgetting people's names. And I'm like, bro, and that'd be our initial reaction. And it's like it doesn't even have networking on just like an energy level, just meeting people in that way. Like it got to a point where I would start seeing the familiar faces. Like that's how a lot of people that we know. Just so it's like take every person you meet seriously too, obviously. But like every person that you do meet, it could be something down the line for sure. So networking.
Yeah, and I feel like people sometimes people at home they get scared of the word networking because they think it's something like this official corporate stuff.
You have business cards.
Networking is just like talking to you networking is diving into a girl's DM.
It's a form of communication.
It's literally a form of communication. So that's what
interacting with people.
Yeah, it's just interacting with people and enjoying each other's company and just meeting new people.
And I think especially with the internet, I think people I don't think people are since the internet's moving so fast, I don't think people are realizing this is basically the way to get money the most efficient way, how it's kind of going. Just because dudes are just partying, but since they have an Instagram, you know what I mean? Instagram now can become an actual business, whether we start using things like Eventbrite, whether there's just so many ways that now where we're at in today's age and all that, just sitting down not doing nothing is you wasting it, you have all this power in a cell phone, so networking is key. That's honestly,
man.
Yeah, that's definitely key. I had something, I just lost it.
You good, bro? You
Yeah,
good? If you come back to it, let me know. I got two more questions, man. It's good, man, but I gotta get to somewhere by 6:15, 6:20. So
you're good.
I'm gonna wrap it up in a little bit, but I got two more questions though. This is for the future. This is the next one to be closed, but one for the future. What would you say to kids with lack of motivation or no hope as well? How have you basically what would you say to kids that have no hope or lack of motivation to get out and be something in the world? I'm not shunning people that want to be ball players and rappers, but what you're doing isn't the norm when you're 9, 10 years old. You're not gonna start promoting parties or venues or things like that.
Yeah, I would just say put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a kid, you don't gotta latch on to one dream, one hope. It's like you saying earlier, you just kind of do whatever. You'll fall into something. Keep Don't just be, oh well, I'm not good at this, and that's the one thing I like, so I'm done. I'm gonna give up. That's it. You know?
Yeah.
But no, I'll say if you're a kid and you want to be that aspiring, like every kid want to be rich and famous, things like that. Like, okay, well, you gotta pick one first. I'm gonna say I want to be famous, so I'm gonna do this. Then the money gonna come, or I want to get rich, and then I'm gonna get famous. So it's like I just always say keep going and don't ever give up on anything.
I guess for me, like not everybody can be a famous rapper.
Right.
Not everybody can be a great athlete.
I try.
For me, I try. Me personally, education is very important. Education is key. Just putting yourself through college, making sure you have something that you fall back on. That's always thing. Like always pre-plan. Like if I don't make this, I got that degree. I got something that I can use out there and like network and like help support myself. So I would say education is very key.
Okay.
You just gotta go out there and get it. But also just like you said, put yourself out there. Do what you love. Do what you love.
Being rich is not always having the most money. It's the person that is happiest of where they're at. You can be making $40,000, living in a studio, but you wake up every single day and you're happy and you can do what you want to do and you do what you love. That person is more rich than Bill Gates, who might hate his life, but he got billions of dollars and can go travel all over the world, but he hate his life. That's not rich. That's miserable. That's poor to me. I can make. I mean, I like money, so that's my situation. But I'm just saying, it's like always find your love, your niche, and try to go after that.
I got you.
Especially like just with like a lack of hope. The thing I found that's the best way to when you just don't feel like doing anything because you just like stuck is you have to just like you said, put yourself out there. You have to action. It doesn't have to. It just the small action. It doesn't have to be a big one. I'm not saying go to Cancun or something, or whatever, it's or anything like that. But whether it be just okay, I've been so isolated with my thoughts. Let me just go to a coffee shop. If that's all you can handle, then But just when you stay still, the world's gonna keep moving. Like you have to understand that. So just try to keep putting yourself out there to find something that you love. If you already know what you love, find a way to incorporate that in your life somehow. It doesn't have to. If chasing it's always ending you to lose hope, whatever. You can add it. Trying to figure a way to weave it in, but staying still. That's never the way. You're gonna be depressed forever.
I like that. I always talk about being stagnant.
Yeah.
I'm not a complacent person. My grandma told me a long time ago. She said, "Baby, you're gonna make a lot of money." And I said, "How you know that?" Because she said, "I know your lifestyle." My dad was a hustler. He was a gangster. He was like my real dad. My stepdad was a good man. But my real dad, his lifestyle kind of showed me I got best of both worlds. I come from my mom's side, Christian, holy side, and my dad being in the streets. And so it's like when you put those two together, you got me. So I love the Lord, believe in God, but I still like finding things in life. So being stagnant for me, I know it's not, because I always tell people, I even say to my audience, I want to make $100 million. And that's one of my goals. I mean, if I didn't see people like a Jay-Z, a man of color from the hood, and there's other people, MJ, people like that, but I like Jay-Z's path. If I didn't see somebody like him do it, then I wouldn't say I'm gonna try to do that. But knowing that it's possible, he ain't had nothing greater than me when he started.
Right.
So.
It's also who you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that are positive, that's going to really upbring you and not shoot down ideas and say, no, that's dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Go sit in the corner,
Yeah, and like for what I'm saying, it's like, it's never too late to, like, even if we're talking to kids or whatever, like, even, I don't care if you're 30 years old, like, you still have time, like, you can still have a breath in your body, you can still do what you got. Yeah, you can live your life and do what you really, like, love. And, like,
Colonel Sanders didn't start to 56.
Right.
Wally World, he didn't start to 60 something, man. Like,
so, even with Jay-Z, 26.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, man, just if you stay still, that's the worst of it. That's honestly, I think like when it comes to like sadness and stuff like that, you just it's so easy just to like let that engulf your whole life,
And see, I like what y'all said, even with me concluding on this. What I want the audience and people to understand is y'all not just partying to party, you're partying to build this business. So when you talk about stagnant, people be like, well, how can they be partying and doing what they're doing, but they're not. You know, what are they doing? Where's the revenue and stuff in it? Y'all talking about promoting businesses. Y'all talking about similar to what I'm doing. You know, bringing people together to expose their talents. And so that's why I want people to understand that y'all not just partying to party.
Right,
You know, you're having fun doing it, but you're still building this brand that you created.
Exactly. People in other cities, they support each other heavy. You know, Chicago music scene, like you got people there just sharing Lil Bibby and G Herbo and things like that. But you come up here and people not supporting Minnesota rappers, they listen to it, they like it. But they're rather listen to a 16-year-old from Chicago than listen to a 16-year-old from Minneapolis in their backyard. Music sound the same. Music probably up here probably sound a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But it's because it's here. I know that person. Whatever. I don't know that person down in Chicago. I'm listening to their music, even though they talk about the same stuff.
Man, well, it's been a good time, man. I appreciate y'all boys, man. And my just final question is for y'all, man. Where can people find information about Minneapolis Ties? Where can people find information? Basically, y'all social media. Just you can rattle off y'all social media so people get to know y'all, man, and hit y'all up and get connected with y'all boys, man.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram at Minneapolis Ties.
Minneapolis MPLS _ties TIES.
Yeah, you can find me personally, Pee-wee_5. That's 3 E's in both P and we.
Oh, you ain't gonna have no problem. I'm gonna make sure I put it in the description box too.
No, mine's just Genie _baby.
Yeah, mine's Nado _600.
Alright.
And hold on, we got our boy Tommy Joyce. Tommy Joyce 2.
Shout out Tommy.
Yeah, shout out Tommy.
He couldn't be here. He had to work, but he's still with us. But just
Well, I'd give you a shout out too.
I appreciate it, coach.
Showing us some love for sure.
Man, it's no problem, man. It's genuine. It ain't fake. It's real, man. And it's a bond, man. We created, and it's gonna keep continue, man. That's all I can say, man.
I just want to say, thanks for this opportunity.
Shout out Darius.
Shout out Darius. Shout out Darius and Kendall Cox. But no, we're gonna change the culture. We're gonna bring something new to Minneapolis. We're definitely gonna do it together, as one. And I'm excited to see the future.
Can't tie a shoelace without both strings.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. Bars, quick bars. That's a bar of the week. That's a bar of the week. You might need to add that. But no, for sure. But just thank you. We got love for you guys, all that's listening in on this. And
you see us out, don't be a stranger.
don't be a stranger. Be nice, guys.
Hit them boys up, man.
Be nice, guys.
I'm the cute one, so.
But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm glad everybody tuned in to this Green and Gold episode, first LBE episode, man. I got one on Monday. It's gonna be really good. Another black business. 2 of my good friends. One's clothing line and one nonprofit. So be sure to tune into that. And like I said, information about this interview and their social medias I will put in the description boxes as normal. And just keep tuning in, man. I appreciate everybody that's listening. And like you said, my boy said we're gonna change the culture, man.
Amen.
Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication.